Alright, let's get it. E-King's Fight News. Back at it, talking about the hottest fight in boxing that hasn't been made yet. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn. You know, Eddie Hearn is the guy I believe is holding up this fight more than anybody else. I think Anthony Joshua legitimately wants the fight, and he's not doing himself any favors by going in the media talking about he wants that face-to-face work. He wants to do everything face-to-face. More on this story, guys. E-King Fight News. But what's interesting to me is all those UK fans, and I don't want to make UK, you know, all those Eddie Hearn fans that always agree with what he's saying. They're always trying to back him up and say, yeah, Wilder signed the contract or else we're going to fight Povetkin. You know? I find that pretty absurd. I find it, you know, the fight of this magnitude, Eddie Hearn's already admitted, is worth 100 million pounds or more. Right? He's already admitted that. So why is he only giving Deontay Wilder a 12% flat rate of $12.5 million? Is that how you make fights happen? Is that how you make fights happen, guys? E-King Fight News. I mean, I've said this before. Manny Pacquiao, before he fought Floyd Mayweather, his largest purse was about $15 million. $15 million. He made 10 times. I'll repeat, he made 10 times that amount when he ended up in the biggest fight of his career against Floyd Mayweather. Yeah? We all understand that, right? If Wilder were to take that 12.5 million, it would be foolery. He would be leaving at least another 10 million on the table to get sorted out somewhere else, to go into someone else's pockets. And that's where Eddie Hearn comes in. That's where Eddie Hearn comes in, guys. We all understand this. If you don't understand it by now, Eddie Hearn is looking to either stall this fight out or give Wilder fucking pennies. Give the American penny. You know what? What Eddie Hearn should really do, if he's so unsure about this U.S. pay-per-view, I've said it before, make the U.S. pay-per-view 50-50 split on all revenues. And you can take the UK pay-per-view, you can make that 80-20, whatever the fuck. You know, they're paying £20 per person. I mean, it could do huge numbers. But I still believe the US pay-per-view will trump the revenue of a Sky Sports pay-per-view. No doubt about it in my mind. There's a lot on the line for this fight. It would be the first loss of either fighter's career. You know, most likely by KO. So, it's like I've said before, guys. Eddie Hearn, the last thing he wants is his shining cash cow, Anthony Joshua, to step in and get smooth out. Knocked out by a guy like Deontay Wilder, a vicious American puncher that could take your fucking heart. That's what he does, guys. Look at what happened to Spilka. He's all tough before the fight. And what happened after? We haven't even heard from this dude Spilka. I have not heard from this dude Arthur Spilka since he got knocked the fuck out. What happened to Audley Harrison? He got knocked the fuck out. What happened to him? What happened to Audley Harrison? You guys tell me. What happened to Luis Ortiz, man? This dude's been frozen up. He hasn't been posting nothing on social media. He's out of the picture. He's in Cuba somewhere. Sipping on a margarita, hopefully. But no, man. It just is what it is, man. Deontay Wilder, he can take your soul in that ring. He can take your soul. So does Eddie Hearn really want to risk his big cash cow, Anthony Joshua? Does he really want to do that? If he ends up making this fight, if he's serious about... I've said it already. If Eddie Hearn is serious about making an Anthony Joshua fight, what he needs to do is go file an exemption with the WBA, because the mandatory has already been called, and Alexander Povetkin, unless you're actually negotiating with Povetkin in the background, and you're trying to make that fight happen first. That's what it sounds like to me. You know, that $12.5 million offer, it never had a date on it. It never had a venue. There was no guarantee that fight would be next. Oh, and I also remember, I remember things. Yeah? Anthony Joshua, after he beat Takam, they were already talking about this Wilder situation. And he spoke on a Deontay Wilder fight. He said, I'll fight Deontay Wilder, no problem, provided that I am available and I have no this guy went in the ring talking about mandatory obligations. Fuck out of here with that shit, eh? Your shit house. Oh man. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury is out here saying, AJ, he's got 3 belts, but he's not the best heavyweight in the world. Right now, Deontay Wilder's the man on top of the division. That's right. It's Deontay Wilder's on top. That's what Tyson Fury's saying. That's the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, who will be back in June. Shout out to Frank Warren. And I wonder what Deontay Wilder has to say about fighting. He's been pretty outspoken, and he's willing to make the fight with either fighter. He wants to fight Wilder. He also wants to fight Joshua. So, there's a lot on the line, a lot on the table. What do you guys want to see? UK fans, are you satisfied with Joshua Povetkin? Are you satisfied with that fight? And being deprived of the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world? What about... I'm going to switch it now. What about the Anthony Joshua fans? Do you want to see Anthony Joshua face Mr. Juice, Alexander Povetkin, in what would be... it would be a big event, no question about it. It would definitely be a big event. I mean, Povetkin just looked very impressive, knocking out David Price. Very, very impressive. End of the day, I want to see this fight, and I also want to see what Anthony Joshua, what concession is he willing to make this fight? Because at the end of the day, I mean, this $12.5 million, we're at a standstill, guys. There's been no updates on the negotiations. There hasn't been any progress. All I've heard is Eddie Hearn claiming that he's going to make an effort to meet up with Wilder's team, since he's already in fucking New York this weekend. He's going to make an effort to meet with Wilder's team and try and hammer something out. Now, if you believe that shit, if you believe that bullshit, I got a couple cars I can sell you, man. I got a couple Toyotas out here. But E-King Fight News, you let me know what you guys think about the situation. Is Eddie Hearn serious about making this fight? Is Eddie Hearn really serious about making this fight? Wilder, Joshua, undisputed, guys. He's been clamoring, he wants to make this fight. He made an offer that's really a bullshit offer. Even the head sports writer at ESPN called it a joke. I mean, get real, guys. Let's get real. And let's put the pressure on Eddie Hearn to make this fight happen. He King Fight News, man.